What's up, guys, and welcome to the first ever EBFG TV match preview. I'm Colton. Alongside me is Brian. We're here to preview tomorrow's match between Seattle Sounders FC and Sporting Kansas City. Coming to you live from Kansas City, Missouri, right?
Missouri, correct.
Missouri, not Kansas, but that's where the match is.
Game's in Kansas, we're in Missouri. It's a whole thing. Not sure who thought that up. But,
it's all very confusing to have one city and two states. But anyways, let's get to the point. What do you expect from the Sounders tomorrow?
I think lineup-wise, we're going to see just about the same thing we've been seeing. Jones, Marshall, Evans, Mears in the back. Roldan. Ozzy's obviously out, so who do we even have?
I'm not even sure.
We put in maybe Farfan after his performance in the Open Cup.
Yeah.
Sturgis put in a good shift there too. Mathers has actually been pretty solid for them as well.
Well, Mathers was a one-day deal, is that correct? To where I don't know
was
if Mathers... They sign. It's very confusing the way that they sign up these S2 players.
Sending him back down. Yeah. I think he is on a one-way contract with S2 though, so I guess that would make sense.
Yeah.
I would assume probably Farfan then in there with Freeberg and Roldan, and then I would guess even Schitz, Morris, Deuce up top.
So would you say Deuce at center forward probably, or Morris at center forward?
I personally would put Morris at center forward.
Yeah.
I would guess that we might see Deuce there though.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's not always about what we think happens because Ziggy Schmidt can do whatever he wants.
It's been a little unpredictable this year.
We've learned that. We've learned that all too well this year. That's for sure.
It's been something already.
It has. It has been Ziggy's wild ride. What do you think the Sounders have to change after obviously the very disappointing 3-1 loss to Portland last week to get a result on the road this week?
I mean, I've been saying all season I would like to see a formation change. I don't think we're going to see that this week, obviously. But I'd like to see us pushing more up the wings, which is tough because we don't have any real attacking winger type players. It makes it difficult. Even Schitz has been stepping up his game a lot lately. I think Deuce, if we put him out there, could step it up and be that guy. I know that's not where he prefers to play. But with this system, we kind of have to put some guys where they don't generally prefer to play. I would also like to see, as much as I know people were very disappointed in Open Cup, I'd like to see Olex come in and get some time. I think his pace, especially in the second half, could be really big. How about you? What do you think of the game?
All season, one of the things I've been big on is set pieces. Is we don't seem to be super... We don't have a super aggressive attack on set pieces. We haven't been super effective on set pieces. So obviously on the road, sometimes a set piece goal or a good set piece is something that can spark you onto a result. And I mean, for me, at this point, a draw would be great. Because
I would happily take a draw.
Yeah, as we've been talking about all weekend while we've been up here, we haven't even been drawing this season. It's been either like a win, which hasn't happened much, or just a straight loss. We only have 2 draws all year.
Yeah.
So for me, obviously, set pieces on the road are pretty big. You can steal a goal that way a lot easier. And yeah, that speed you talked about with Olex Anderson would be huge because I think that's one thing that we've been lacking is a really good counterattack, which is another big part of winning on the road in MLS, is just a speedy, quick counterattack. To kind of punch him in the face real quick.
Yeah, and I think it's not really the type of game for Valdez, those type of guys to come in, and I don't think we're going to beat them physically, their backline, but I think we can beat them for pace. Morris certainly can do that. Dempsey at times can do that. I don't think even Schitz will be doing that much.
Yeah.
But I think the second half is going to be huge in this game. It's going to be key. Get some early momentum, a set piece goal, or any sort of set piece thing that kind of gives us that belief.
Yep.
I'm not going to say, their chant, but that's essentially what we need to do. But no, I think we need to get momentum early. I know Ziggy likes to go out early and kind of feel things out, which on the road I understand. I think at this point in the season we're kind of past the stage for timidness, essentially, to open games up. And we need to take it to them as soon as possible.
Well, we're at the point in the season where we have nothing to lose.
Exactly.
We're out of the Open Cup. We don't really have any other competitions to care for right now except for MLS.
Yeah.
And right now we're, I think, 9 points out of a playoff spot. And even with those 3 games in hand, doesn't exactly look too bright. Have to win all 3 games. And
with the way we've been playing.
Yeah, winning 3 games doesn't seem super likely right now.
No. Especially with, SKC on the road is always a tough game.
Yep.
I know we've gotten some crazy late results there. I would love to do it again. I'm not going to hold out hope for a 94th minute Jimmy Traore screamer from the penalty spot.
Congratulations to Jimmy. I saw he got married today.
Did he?
Yeah, I saw he got married.
I did not see that.
So
That's
congratulations
fantastic.
to Jimmy
Congrats,
Traore.
Jimmy.
I know he's probably watching.
Of course.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
But no, travel in the MLS is one thing that's incredibly difficult. Not just for us fans, but for the teams. I mean, a lot of the team was down in LA for Open Cup midweek. Some of them stayed. I think an extra day and kind of had like a relaxed, meditation day, like on the beaches. And then some of the team obviously was in Seattle until probably yesterday.
It's the putt-putt event?
Yeah, for the putt-putt event. So, yeah, travel is really hard in MLS, especially coming all the way from Seattle to the Midwest to Kansas City. And sometimes you only have a day to kind of turn it around and get your footing before you have to play a game. And, for me, getting a quick start on the road is very important. But, yeah, as you said, that's not Ziggy's style of play all the time. Yeah, he's very timid and kind of lets the game play out before we start
Timid maybe is a little harsh of a word, to be fair on my part. He likes to, it's like a boxer feeling or a fighter feeling a guy out in the first couple rounds.
Yeah.
Find their weaknesses, find their strengths, whatever, which I understand. But at this point, I just don't think we can afford.
All the debate in the Sounders community over the last few weeks has been, are you Ziggy in? Are you Ziggy out? I'm not necessarily going to ask you what your stance is, but...
I think a lot of people on Twitter know my stance.
Yeah, a lot of people on Twitter know Brian's stance. But at this point in the season, could you see Ziggy being let go?
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see if he does go. I think now would be the time to do it. I think because of his reputation and what he's done for not only for our club but for soccer in America in general, I think they will let him see it out until the end of the season. Personally, if we are getting a new coach, I would prefer to see them come in now, kind of, build up a rapport with the squad, get used to the system, get used to Garth, get used to the city. That way we're ready to go for the start of next season. But honestly, I just don't see it happening.
Well, for me, we're at a point in the season where if you wait too much longer, if you do want to let him go before the season's over, if you wait too long, it's going to be pointless to go and try to either find a new coach or let Schmetzer take over for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. We're at a point where maybe if you do it now, I'm not saying do it now, I'm saying maybe if you do it now, you can bring in either someone new or have Brian Schmetzer take over and give some new life to the squad, and to where right now we have enough time to maybe make a run towards the playoffs. Dare I say? It's possible, but I'm saying we're straddling the fine line.
We're getting real close to that.
Yeah, between being either too late to fire him to try to turn around for this year, or too early. I don't know. It's just very strange. It's a very delicate situation.
And you don't want to ruffle too many feathers within the locker room either.
Exactly.
There are a lot of guys who are Ziggy's guys.
Yeah.
They stand by him, which I appreciate. I think it's great.
You look at Brad Evans. He's the only coach Brad's had in his professional career since he was in Columbus and now in Seattle.
Yeah. Chad was with him back there as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's tough. But, personally, I think if they are going to do it, they need to do it. If they're going to do it mid-season, they need to do it soon.
Yeah. Even, could you see maybe 2 or 3 results in the next few weeks? Maybe you would have fired him, but if he gets 2 wins and a draw, do you think he could save his job in the next few weeks?
Yeah. It'll take more than that, I think, to take him out of the hot seat. We would have to make a pretty spectacular run, I think, to really remove doubt of, where his job is. But certainly, I think if we got, a draw even today and a, win or 2 in the next couple of games, I think, that removes a lot of pressure from him. And especially in terms of mid-season firing, I think that would probably erase a lot of doubt there.
For me, personally, I think that a few results in a row could maybe take him off the hot seat for a mid-season firing.
Right.
But it's incredibly possible for a few results in a row to take him off the hot seat for now, save his job at the end of the season, and he'd still be let go in the off-season.
No, absolutely.
As I said, it's a very delicate situation. You don't want to make the wrong move here because it's a big deal. It's a big job. It's a big club.
Yeah.
To make this type of decision at. So I definitely don't envy where Garth and Adrian as the chief decision makers are sitting right now.
No matter what decision they make, whether it be now, whether it be at the end of the season, a lot of people are going to be unhappy.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely be criticized. It'll definitely be talked about. That is for sure. So it'll be interesting to see in the next few weeks how the results go and how maybe either the rumor train of Ziggy getting let go gets faster or gets hotter, or maybe people start calming down if we can get a few points here and there.
I mean, if we tank, especially defensively, tomorrow like we did against Portland, I think it's really going to heat up.
Yeah, it'll definitely get...
Especially after the Open Cup loss midweek. You bring your B squad.
Yep.
They brought mostly their B squad, but, they're subbing in guys like Zardes and Dos Santos.
And they sub in those two guys, and the game changed
instantly.
like that. It changed on the head of a dime. It was kind of...
It was almost eerie.
Cool to watch because of how quick we just started kind of falling apart and getting taken apart. But at the same time, it's
cool
very
to watch from a neutral perspective.
Yeah. If you're not a Sounders supporter, then obviously you're kind of impressed at how fast Bruce Arena turned it around, and Ziggy was left there kind of spinning.
Yeah, well, we just didn't have the personnel to deal with that sort of talent, and I think Ziggy knew that. His idea was always to focus on tomorrow, but that's part of the thing. If you do that, and you say we're focusing on Sunday, we're going to bring our B squad, we're going to focus on Sunday, and then you don't get the result Sunday either. That really heats up the debate of whether or not you still deserve to have this job.
It makes you look not very... It doesn't make him look good if you don't get a result midweek or on Sunday.
And, of course, no result's guaranteed.
Exactly.
But if we get rolled over again,
yeah,
I think that really heats up the debate.
The seat definitely gets hot.
Yeah.
Let's transition then into what do you expect result-wise from tomorrow's game? Is a result a draw, or do the Sounders have to win to see tomorrow as a success?
I don't think they necessarily have to win, but I think they need to put up not just a good fight, but I think they need to dominate a bit. And not just dominate defensively, because we've actually played fairly well up until Portland. Had been playing fairly well defensively.
Mm-hmm.
We'd let games slip here and there. We've had a lot of trouble finishing chances. But we're going to need to put on pressure both offensively and defensively tomorrow. And I think, result-wise, I think it'll be a hard-fought game, because obviously this game means a lot to Kansas City as well. I'm going to say 1-1 draw, but probably a 1-1 draw with a lot of chances, a lot of shots, a lot of back and forth.
I'd love to see the Sounders kind of steal a point in a way. As I said earlier, a set-piece goal I think would be huge, or maybe even kind of a cheeky penalty goal, like kind of a cheap call. It's MLS. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Do we know who the ref is?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked. Okay. I haven't been on Twitter enough today to see if they've announced assignments. But I think obviously a major success is getting a win, but all the factors that are factored in that, like the weather and the travel and playing midweek. Kansas City didn't play midweek. Yeah, this is the weather they play in, and it'll still be warm for them, but it's kind of a little more used to it.
A bit extreme even for them.
Yeah, even for them it's extreme, but they're a little more used to it because the guys live here. The guys in Seattle don't have to deal with this crazy humidity, heat all the time.
No.
So yeah, I'd say a 1-1 would be a major success. That's what I'm going to go for, both with my heart and my head. I think they can pull off a 1-1. And then I'll reiterate what you said. I just want to see some fight. It seemed like during the Portland game,
we lost it. We came back a bit, and then I'm not quite sure what happened, but there suddenly it just dropped out.
It was just kind of a loss of fire, it seemed. Yeah. And it almost didn't even feel like some of the players saw it as a rivalry game. And I'm not accusing them of it. It's just the way it kind of ended up. It's kind of, come on, like, show you really care about this game, because it is a big game. Even if we're not fighting for playoffs, it's still your biggest rival.
Well, playoffs aside, Cascadia Cup's still on the line either way.
Oh, for sure. And it just kind of seemed like some of the players kind of, I'm not even sure how to put it. It was just very strange how it was almost reserved.
It just shut down.
Yeah, and as soon as Portland got the third goal, it was done.
Oh, yeah.
But as you said, once we scored the goal to make it 2-1 last week, I thought, here we go. Like, we can really do this. And then it just kind of...
Something happened somewhere.
It shut off.
And it shut off.
But yeah, so I'd love to see some fight tomorrow. 1-1, 1-1. That's the official EBFG TV.
Going 1-1?
Yeah, we're both going 1-1. So that's the official prediction for tomorrow. We'll talk to you after the game. Hopefully we're talking to you after a Sounders draw.
I mean, hopefully we're talking to you after a Sounders
Hopefully we're talking
victory.
After a win. But I think more realistically for me,
I would take a draw.
Let's draw.
Anything to build some momentum going into the latter stages of the season.
And especially going into next week against LA, which I think is a full stadium game. Yeah. It'd be nice to gain some momentum with 3 points, especially to carry that over and start rolling into that game where you're going to have...
Especially to get revenge for what they did to us midweek.
Exactly. And KC beat us on our home opener this year, 74th minute goal. I think it's 74th minute.
Oh, they did.
And so we're in KC. It looks like it's time for some revenge.
I would love it. I'm saying 1-1, but if
Yeah.
we blew them out 9-0,
9-0 would be good.
not complain.
9-0. I'd say 6 goals from Jordan Morris if it was 9-0.
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm a little hopeful, but
I'll
wouldn't
give
you
him
love to
6.
see it?
We'll give him 6.
Spot him 6. The new tattoo, Carpe Diem. So, we will talk to you guys after the game tomorrow. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.